5 medical screenings to skip after 70 that might hurt more than help. A secret reality exists that most older adults never learn from their physicians. Each year, countless seniors queue for screenings, believing they're protecting their health. But what if I revealed that certain tests, the standard ones your physician insists on, could actually lead you toward operations, heart attacks, or even malignancies? Recent research shows that up to 37% of medical exams in seniors result in unneeded treatments, issues, or lasting side effects. Shockingly, 99% of individuals over 70 are unaware they're being over-examined. One of these screenings, the top one on our list, causes 5% of all cancer cases in the US, matching the number of cases triggered by daily alcohol consumption. EU won't hear this from your medical center. You won't see it on a signboard. But the reality is hidden in the research, and today, we're exposing it all in this video. The 5 medical screenings to skip after 70 and the alarming truth about their effects on your body. All supported by solid science. And you won't believe what ranked second. Before we start, share in the comments below your location, age, and have you ever regretted an exam or procedure? Do you believe seniors are examined too often? We're reading and responding to every comment with tailored advice and suggestions. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Now, without further delay, let's discuss the first exam. Why it seems safe, but could silently damage your quality of life. Number 5. Bone strength test. It appears harmless, a quick test, no discomfort, no injections. And you leave knowing if your bones risk breaking. But here's what nobody shares with you. After age 70, a bone strength test can often spark more worry than value. This test, formerly called ADXA test, evaluates how sturdy your bones are. It's mainly used to identify osteoporosis, but in older individuals, especially women, the results nearly always show reduced strength, even when there's no true risk. That's because bone weakening is a normal part of aging. Just like crow's feet or silver hair, it occurs to everyone. Yet, many seniors are urged to take drugs like bisphosphonates, meant to fortify bones, but they carry severe side effects like jawbone decay, a rare condition where the jawbone begins to deteriorate, and throat irritation. Now, here's the issue. Studies reveal that treating mild bone weakening in people over 70 with drugs has minimal to no effect on actual break rates. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society tracked over 1,200 women over 70 and found that bisphosphonates lowered break risk by only 0.3% after 5 years. That's not meaningless, but it's far from life-changing. Instead, those women were much more likely to experience drug side effects, including stomach problems, throat inflammation, and fragile bones that fracture unusually. Let me share about Rose, a 76-year-old retired music instructor referred for a DEXA test after her yearly visit. She had never fallen, felt no discomfort, and walked daily. Her test showed osteopenia, a slight decrease in bone strength, not deemed osteoporosis. Her physician quickly prescribed alendronate, a bisphosphonate. 3 months later, she developed severe heartburn and jaw discomfort by the time we met her. She hadn't played music in weeks. We stopped the drugs, began a plan of vitamin D, activities like resistance exercises, and a calcium-rich diet with foods like fish and greens. A year later, she was performing recitals with stronger limbs, better stability, and no breaks. A brief test may seem wise, but for people over 70 who aren't falling or fracturing bones, the better choice is lifestyle, strength exercises, balance training, proper diet, and addressing vitamin D deficiency have been shown to reduce breaks by over 20%, per a 2022 osteoporosis international study. Don't let a figure on a monitor push you into treatment you may not require. But there's one test that can lead to something even more frightening: brain surgery. Let's discuss that next. Number 4. Brain scan for memory issues. When seniors feel more forgetful or disoriented, the natural reaction is worry. Worry about dementia. Worry about Alzheimer, single quotes. So physicians often order a brain scan. But here's the unsettling reality. Scans, which are detailed images showing the brain's structure, rarely provide the answers patients hope for. In fact, most scans in people over 70 simply show age-related changes, meaning slight shrinkage or white spots that are entirely normal in older adults. But here's the catch. Once those spots are detected _selves on a treadmill or receiving drugs that mimic exercise is designed to detect blocked arteries. But after 70, this test often causes more harm than benefit, especially when used on people without clear signs of heart disease. That's because it can lead to false positives and unnecessary heart procedures that carry significant risks. The issue lies in the accuracy. Studies show that in adults over 70, the false positive rate for stress tests, meaning the test indicates a problem when there isn't one, can be as high as 40%. That leads to follow-up exams like angiograms and even unneeded stent placement or bypass surgery. In 2017, a major study in JAMA Cardiology found that more than half of all stents placed after stress test referrals were performed on patients with no real symptoms or benefit. And those patients saw no improvement in survival or quality of life after the procedure. What they did have, however, were higher rates of bleeding, kidney damage from contrast dyes, and extended hospital stays. This happened to Raymond, a 75-year-old retired mail carrier who stayed active by walking daily. During a visit, he mentioned occasional tiredness on inclines. His physician scheduled a stress test just to be cautious. The results were unclear, so he was sent for a catheterization, a procedure that inserts a tube into the arteries to check for blockages. Mild narrowing was found, and a stent was placed. That night, Raymond had a reaction to the contrast dye and developed kidney issues. He spent 6 days in the hospital and needed follow-up care for weeks. The tiredness never changed because it wasn't a heart issue to begin with. He was simply an older man who needed better hydration and more rest between activities. If you're over 70 and not experiencing classic cardiac symptoms like chest pain during activity, shortness of breath on exertion, or a significant drop in energy during light exercise, a stress test may do more harm than good. A better option is often a resting ECG, which examines the heart's rhythm while you're still, or a coronary calcium scan, a low radiation imaging test that shows whether dangerous plaque is accumulating. These are safer, simpler, and far less likely to push you into a procedure you didn't need. Number 2. Colon examination. You probably didn't expect this one. But a colon examination, a procedure using a long camera to inspect your colon, is not always a wise choice after age 70 and almost never recommended after 75 unless specific symptoms are present. The risks increase with age. The preparation is tough, involving strong laxatives that can cause dehydration, dizziness, or kidney problems. The sedation used during the procedure poses added risks to brain function in older adults, and surprisingly, the test itself can cause complications like bleeding, tearing, or even heart rhythm issues during sedation. A 2019 study in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 1.3 million Medicare patients aged 70 and older. They found that for every 1,000 colon examinations in patients over 75, only 2 lives were saved, but over 20 people experienced serious complications. That's a 10-to-1 risk-to-benefit ratio. And even when growths are found, many are small and slow-growing. Removing them in an older adult can sometimes cause more harm than leaving them alone. Dana was a 73-year-old grandmother who ran a small bakery with her daughter. She had no symptoms, no bleeding, no changes in bowel habits, and no family history of colon cancer, but her new primary physician, recently graduated, urged her to get a screening colon examination. She agreed. During the procedure, a small growth was removed, and she was sent home. That night, she experienced intense abdominal pain and fainted at the hospital. They found a bowel tear. She spent 9 days in recovery, lost 10 pounds, and hasn't been the same since. When we reviewed her case, We found she had already had to clear colon examinations in the past. There was no reason to repeat it. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force currently recommends stopping routine colon cancer screening at 75 for most people. For those in excellent health, a stool-based test, like the FIT test, a non-invasive fecal test done at home, is often a safer option. It has no prep, no sedation, and still catches most concerning cases. Ask your physician about alternatives, because once you're in the colon examination pipeline, it's hard to get out, and now we've reached the most overused, most dangerous, and most harmful screening for seniors, and you've almost certainly had it done. Number 1. Annual full-body imaging scans. Full-body imaging scans, sometimes offered as part of premium health packages or as preventive services in private clinics, are marketed as a way to detect cancer early. But here's the shocking reality. These scans expose your body to a high dose of ionizing radiation. For older adults, especially over 70, the risk of triggering unnecessary follow-ups, biopsies, and even surgeries is incredibly high. And the irony is, there's zero evidence that full-body scans without symptoms save lives. Each scan delivers between 10 to 20 millisieverts of radiation, equivalent to around 500 chest X-rays, according to a 2023 modeling study in JAMA Internal Medicine. The rise in imaging scans across the United States may now be responsible for up to 5% of all cancers, putting them on par with alcohol as a cancer-causing factor. That means 1 out of every 20 cancers could be caused by a scan meant to prevent disease. That's not just counterproductive, it's alarming. The scan can detect harmless nodules, calcifications, or cysts that are simply part of aging. But the moment they're seen, a warning flag goes up. More scans follow, then biopsies. Then panic. Let me tell you about Marcus, an active 80-year-old who used to teach martial arts to younger seniors. He felt great and took part in a premium health checkup at a private clinic. His full-body scan showed a tiny 3 mm lung nodule that set off a chain reaction. He was referred to oncology, sent for a PET scan, and eventually underwent a needle biopsy. The result was benign, but the biopsy collapsed part of his lung, leading to hospitalization and a 2-month recovery, all for something that could have been left alone. Experts now advise that full-body imaging scans should never be used for general screening in asymptomatic adults. The American College of Radiology is clear: there's no proven benefit and significant potential for harm. If there are symptoms like unexplained weight loss, coughing up blood, or visible swelling, then targeted imaging makes sense. But scanning the whole body with no focus is like searching for treasure with a landmine detector. You may find something, but the damage could be worse than what you were trying to avoid. A safer, smarter approach is listening to your body. If you feel well, maintain regular visits with your primary physician and only do tests that are clearly needed. Your time, energy, and health are too valuable to waste on fear-driven screening that could leave you worse than where you started. So, there you have it. 5 screenings that may seem beneficial but can actually harm, especially once you're past 70. Modern medicine is powerful, but it's not flawless. Sometimes, less is more. Always ask, what happens next? If this test finds something, if the answer is unclear, or if the risks outweigh the reward, it may be time to pause. And remember, true prevention starts with lifestyle. Stay active, eat well, sleep deeply, and choose your screenings wisely. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love ever faced complications from a medical exam or treatment that turned out to be unneeded? What happened? Share your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching.